Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, the 20th of March 2024. So Nvidia fails to impress, Bitcoin is battered, but bonds and black gold bid ahead of Fed. Followed the largest net outflow of the day of BTC ETFs as someone liquidated a boatload. No surprise there, that's how Bitcoin works, and it's particularly ETFs as well. If you were in at the start of the rise of the newly released ETF, you'll be wanting to take some money off the table with the vertical rise, and of course it'll be the pros that have done that, leaving the uninitiated and inexperienced traders left holding some ETFs that have lost a lot of money, and having of course the FOMO effect as well, where the fear of missing out, and then they dump it on them, and it takes a long time for ETFs to get back to those levels as well. May just be a short-term correction, but we'll just have to wait and see. US stocks reversed early weakness, and the S&P posted a fresh record close. That's on the CME, but not on my platform. Treasuries were underpinned after softer than expected Canadian inflation, while participants now await the FOMC. Yes, that's this evening. That's out at 6 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. you will get the press conference, the quarterly one. So it'll be interesting to see. The markets will react at this time. We've got the CPI from the UK as well at 7 a.m. forecast, 3.5 from 4. Again, that's why it's known in the trade as the CP lie. I can't see anything that's coming down in price, and the only thing that hasn't gone up in price and is 50% cheaper than it has been for 40 odd years is silver. Let's move on, have a look at the markets, and start off with the Dow. So in the Dow, we can see that prices managed to move higher yesterday, stuck in a sideways range at the moment, obviously waiting for these CPI numbers. I suspect that it's going to be an easy one to predict. They're not going to raise rates. The market will move down and then it will move up. And that's how it's been in the same pattern for the last goodness knows how many times now it is that they haven't raised rates. So market down, market back up. 30-minute chart yesterday, prices moving up nicely there. Sideways overnight, treading water, waiting for those FOMC meeting minutes. It's going to be a quiet day today unless there is any sort of release or premature release of what the Fed intends to do, which is not unusual either. In the German DAX, the market is sideways. As you can see, they're stuck at the 78 and 89. The market needs to break through this and the all-time high of 18,039, which we quite easily achieve later on this evening. 30-minute chart yesterday up, then stuck in a sideways range, up with the Dow into the close of the Dow, then pulling back overnight, sitting at the DP at the moment and trying to move to the upside. The markets are going to move up. They may have a shakeout to begin with, but that's going to be the net effect by the end of this evening. S&P 500, like I said in the intro, mine hasn't made a new all-time high, but according to the CME, it has. So still in those highs, despite the fact that momentum's starting to drop off, so the market being held. 30-minute chart is plain to see there, market up. And in the FT 100, market sideways to higher as well, bit of a downtrend going on there. It needs to break through this to get back to the 7785 that we saw earlier on, well, sort of towards the latter part of February, early part of March. And in the 30-minute chart, market up, pulling back 89% to the psychological level, oversold, and then moving up there as well, which you can see, stuck at the 200 MA, market down to the 50 EMA, and now just needs to take out the close to head back to yesterday's high. US dollar, well, it's moving higher. It's no reduction in rates. Dollar will spike, then it will change its course and move back to the downside. Simple as that, really. As far as the US dollar is concerned, the dollar's strength comes as a result of increasing rates. They're not going to be doing that, but they're not going to be reducing them either, which will see the dollar move lower. So again, we'll just have to wait and see at 6 p.m. and then also the reasoning behind why he's left the rates unchanged. So in the metal, silver down yesterday, no surprise. This will also be down again. It'll be blasted to the downside when Powell says there's no change in the interest rates, and then it will recover a little bit, but it's got a retracement to make now. back down towards these lows, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of news about silver at the moment, but for me, we're still going back down to the 22 level. They're not going to let this move up yet. The financial system is still intact, and money is still being printed. The 30-minute silver market sideways at the close, and you can see they're just pulling back towards this level, but that will be taken out shortly. Gold the same. You can see now we've got a bit of a trend going down there. We are getting to oversold in gold, though. Could get another move to the upside, but certainly not in silver. And the gold market there for the 30-minute, you can see the 89% retracement. Market up, needs to stay above the close, and the DP there. Quick look at yesterday's trades, but before we do that, let's have a quick look at the gold-silver ratio. And as I've said, it's going back up to the 92 level. It started its move over the last couple of days, having found support to the left. So again, moving back up, as silver will be moving lower, or forced lower is probably more the key there. Right, let's have a look at yesterday's trades. So yesterday, just one trade, and unfortunately a losing trade. It's to be expected. The day before the FOMC meeting minutes, the market put in a short, went down to the 50 EMA, the market found support, and then just made its way back. It wants to get above the DP as much as it wants to stay above the low, because a close above the low, or trading above the, not the low, the DP along with the low, is what markets want to do to indicate their bullishness, and that's exactly what happened. Prices then moved slightly higher, getting above the BRN, heading towards the R1, but then profit taking coming in. And I'm going to fast forward through this because the market was just drifting up and down in a range yesterday as the market awaits the FOMC meeting minutes. In the afternoon, prices moving up with the Dow after getting down to the DP. You can see there, failing to come back initially, and then making its way back. So again, trying to get back above that DP, despite the fact that it traded below, is always going to be a goal of the markets there. So into the close there at 3 p.m, and we've got another week of that yet this next week before we actually get back into sync with the 2:30 start to 9 p.m. for the Dow. So the 2-minute chart managing to move up. What a surprise. There's the high. Expect that to be hit. We've got the CPI numbers from the UK in 15 minutes, so we'll see what happens there. So yeah, and in the daily chart we've already seen that we're stuck in that sideways range and trying to get back above the high that we can see there, just at the 18,039. Right, that's it for this one. Let's see what old Powell has in store for us later, and also the CPI numbers from the UK. So that's it from me. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.